what's up? It's Luke, and the United States now officially has a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is a huge moment in US history and in global history, and this is how Trump will be viewed in 100 years. This is how his presidency will be remembered. Despite the price, the signal is everywhere. Bitcoin is at $86,000, but we are weeks away from ripping. The President of the United States held their first digital asset crypto summit on Friday, and this is where they met with all of the industry leaders to talk about Bitcoin and crypto. And here's a video of that. Take a look.
Welcome to the first ever White House Digital Asset Summit. Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise.
Your administration is moving at tech speed.
We are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency.
This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration.
No one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago.
We want to stay at the forefront of everything. This is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal, and you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
This administration is fresh, and they understand the topics that the youth are interested in. This is what initially got Trump into the White House, and now he's actually delivering on his promises to adopt crypto. And if you think Trump really understands this, he doesn't, but he understands what the people want, and he can assemble a team of the sharpest individuals to get this done. Here's Saylor wearing his orange tie at the summit. He looks like he's eyeing down the president, making sure that he stays away from any of those garbage coins and sticks to Bitcoin only. So this is good. You can also see some big names here. We have David Sachs, the crypto czar, sitting next to the president, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, and then the Secretary of Commerce and the Treasury, Howard Lutnick and Scott Bessent, sitting next to the president as well. And they will be two crucial figures for this strategic reserve. I'll get to that in a minute. And we have now the largest strategic Bitcoin reserve in the world, and hopefully it will only get bigger. Saylor presented his digital assets strategy, which I touched on in a previous video at the summit, where he went through how to label these tokens and what legislation is the most important. But at the end, he included a bit on the strategic Bitcoin reserve with an interesting note saying that we should acquire 5 to 25% of the Bitcoin network, and that the SBR has the potential to generate $16 to $81 trillion in wealth for the US Treasury by 2045. And he also noted, never sell your Bitcoin. Trump also repeated this. Take a look.
With as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law, and including enforcement actions, these existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve. Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration. Not a good thing to have done. From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows?
If we actually read through the official executive order that was signed, it is clear that we have an administration that understands the difference between digital gold and digital garbage. We can see that the Secretary of the Treasury and the Secretary of Commerce shall develop strategies for acquiring additional government Bitcoin, provided that such strategies are budget neutral and do not impose incremental costs on US taxpayers. However, the United States government shall not acquire additional stockpile assets, and they actually split up the stockpile, which is all the altcoins, and then the Bitcoin reserve is Bitcoin only. So they can accumulate more Bitcoin if it is budget neutral, but they will not be acquiring additional stockpile assets. And in fact, they're going to analyze if they should even hold on to those assets or if they should sell them and buy more Bitcoin. And you might be wondering, how can they acquire Bitcoin in a budget neutral manner, well, they could follow the strategy playbook and issue bonds. They could issue way more than strategy can and accumulate Bitcoin. They could also sell gold. Now, you might be wondering, why are they auditing Fort Knox? Elon has been very vocal about this. If you want to sell gold, you first need to perform an audit. So they might just be disguising this audit as looking into fraud, when in reality, they're just seeing how much they have so they can basically dump all the gold and buy up Bitcoin, which would be very interesting. And we also have over 900,000 cubic yards of cheese in a strategic cheese stockpile. So we could get rid of that and buy Bitcoin with it. This is going to be up to the Secretary of Commerce and the Secretary of Treasury. So we will see how they do it, but they have been in close talks with Saylor. So big things are definitely ahead. And I think this was the singularity, the signal. Despite the price, this is what matters. We have Wedbush predicting that 5% of all public companies will integrate Bitcoin into their treasuries within the next year. And I would just be on the lookout for more countries announcing their own reserves. And we still have many bills on the state level that are waiting to be passed. So this was a huge week. And if the price is scaring you, I think you just need to take a step back and look at what happened. This is a huge moment for Bitcoin. And if you want to stay up to date with news about strategy in Bitcoin, I just ask that you subscribe.